Simon from Kadavar and you're watching Loud TV. Maybe the most audacious as well in terms of musical range, where we took a little more, maybe a little more risk, and we were not trying to reproduce anything that we did before, obviously. And yeah, it's audacious would be one specific for that album. Yeah. That was a point, yeah. On the last album, I mean, we took it differently. This one, we came back to everything homemade. So we did everything by ourselves, from obviously the pre-production to building the studio ourselves, recording ourselves, mixing, mastering. So from the bottom to top, it's everything homemade. On Berlin, we let some people did, some mixing, some recordings. So it's true that on the last one, maybe the bass was mixed a little more on the bottom, like even sometimes lower than the bass drum or something. And that was important to have the bass as equal as the other instruments, because people are always, they take such a blast, but they take a pretty decent amount of blast when they come to the shows, right? And it's always hard to retranscribe that on the format, on the vinyl format, the CD format. And that was what we wanted to insist on for this album, and that was the way to get this live feeling. That was to have the guitar and bass equally loud. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more work, yeah, but and a state of you push yourself a lot. The time frame was so short on this one that it was quite intense, and yeah, it's hard, but it's also good sometimes when it hurts, that you access to other part of your brain that you are not really conscious yet. So yeah, it was hard, but we just built our studio. That was the opening of the studio, if you want, first band to play in, obviously, and record in. And it was a lot of fun and also pleasure to do that. So yeah, hard, it has to be hard if you want to create something that you can be, happy about or proud about. Yeah. We work a lot at home, so everybody was, because also of the time frame short, everybody was coming with almost full song already written, and then we would rework it and say, okay, that's the song. Not that it was rushed, the songs were rushed and unfinished. That's not what I meant, but they were actually pretty defined, and the direction of each song were actually pretty clear. But it was a fast process. Yeah, recording, we would do 2 songs a day. So yeah, that was it for the album. Then you have the mastering, mixing, and then mastering. But all in all, it was quite fast. It was definitely the first time we worked that fast. Because we needed, because we had that plan, and the deadline were more and more coming towards us, so we had no choices. But sometimes not to be restricted and have no choices. That's where things happen. So. It was a need, but it was also enjoyable. It left you no choice anymore. You have to think fast, you have to take decisions. So that was good for that, yeah. Yeah, it is a reflection of our times, and it was a desire to, to show it that way, to show it that it's not that much of easy times anymore for everybody. And it's somehow some sort of mirror of that. We are just like some sort of instrument. It goes through us, and then we create something out of that. The artwork was the base. That was the if you want, the Rough Times, the title, and the artwork was the core of the project. Before there was any songs, before there was anything. So then it was the work around this, like how each individual interprets Rough Times. Yeah. But yeah, it was a link to obviously the Nico covers that we did on the last album, and it just sounded right. I mean, it was not meant to be in French, but we were supposed to record the song one day, and on that day they called me and it was like, okay, instead of doing English, can you just translate the text in French and you're gonna fucking speak on it? I was like, no, I can't do that. I don't do that. And it was actually a lot of fun, like to concentrate on that text for like I had just one day. And to actually be able to use my sort of French language again, that I barely use, obviously, because I'm more like, in international than just French nowadays. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's always hard to hear your voice, though. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. They push me, yeah, but they know also to get something out of me, you have to push me. So yeah, they know how to push me right. Yeah. And at the end, I'm like, oh, it was not that bad. Yeah.